Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time viewing, make sure you hit subscribe down below so that you get my future videos. Today I'm going to talk about fibroid treatments, and I'm going to personally talk about the ones I've decided to do. So there are different ranges of the options, ranging from very non-invasive, minimal invasive, and very invasive. So there are um, hormonal treatments. You can do, there's different type of ablations. You can do uterine artery embolization, or sometimes it's referred to as uterine fibroid embolization. You can have a robotic or laparoscopic myomectomy or open myomectomy. And then in some cases, you can have a hysterectomy. And all those will depend on the size, the location of the fibroid, and if you're trying to preserve fertility or not. And sometimes it just kind of, depend on whether or not you want to, you know, have anything removed, because a lot of women are past child rearing age, but they still kind of want to hold on to their uterus and everything in there. So it's all also a personal decision. So just to talk about my journey, in 2018, I had a hysteroscopy. That's when they go in vaginally, and during mine they did a DNC with a polypectomy with a myosure. So they removed one polyp, and she attempted to remove a good bit of the fibroid, but due to the location, she was only kind of able to get a little bit of it. The speculum kept breaking due to the angle of the fibroid. But it might work for somebody else if it's a little bit smaller and more accessible. And that's kind of vaginally. So that's one of the less invasive methods. It was an outpatient procedure, so I was able to go in and do it and go home the next day, and didn't really have any pain after that procedure. So my surgery is actually coming up. So I decided to do Lupron, a preoperative UFE, and then I'm having an open abdominal myomectomy. So Lupron, if you talk to lots of women, if you do real research, there are kind of pros and cons to it. So make sure you do your research, because based off my original search, I was like, I don't think this is a good idea. Everybody's saying don't do it, stay away from it. Um, they're still kind of studying, short-term effects, long-term effects. It's just not something a lot of people recommend. Although a lot of doctors will try to get you to do it. And it wasn't until about 3 days before I was supposed to get the Lupron is when I kind of decided it was really the best decision for me. And that was after doing several internet searches, reading different articles. I decided, based off what I read, it was something I wanted to do. So I'm very much at peace in my decision. It's been probably about a month and a half since I've had the Lupron shot. There's probably 3 symptoms I've noticed since I've had it. One of them is I kind of get these mild headaches. They only last for about maybe 10 minutes at the most, but they're very mild. Sometimes I take some ibuprofen and it kind of, makes it go away, but nothing serious at all. And I know it's from the Lupron because I rarely get headaches. So this has kind of been kind of new for me, but it's been doable. Another symptom I get is a major one that most people do get is the hot flashes. They come about maybe 2 to 3 times a day, or maybe 3 to 4 times a day. They only last usually about 10 to 15 seconds, probably not longer than 20 seconds. I haven't really noticed being waking up at night from them, but if I wake up, there's been times where I woke up at night and the covers are like pushed off to the side, and so I know that at some point I did have one of the hot flashes because I hardly ever not sleep under the cover, so I know that had to be the instance. And this right here is with my best friend, this fan, just because it's portable and it has about 3 settings. So I just cut it on and I prop it up, or I'll be walking around the house with my little fan. Because like I said, it only lasts a few seconds. It doesn't get to the point where I'm like drenched with sweat, but it's like 30 to 40 degrees outside. So, and I have my like warm onesie on, and all of a sudden the hot flash will come on, and I'm like, oh, get me up out of this hot thing. And my husband walk in, and I'm sitting in on the couch in just a bra. He's like, what? But I mean, like I said, it's been doable. It's not something I look forward to going through in the future. But for the time being, if it's what I gotta go through, it's what I gotta go through. Um, and I'll keep y'all updated as the weeks go on of how long the hot flashes last, or they get any worse. So make sure you subscribe so you get that information in the future. Another symptom I get, I don't know if it's really a symptom, but it's something that happens, is I'm having like 3 to 4 dreams a night. They're never negative or nightmarish. They're just regular dreams, like something that happened in my everyday life. And some of everybody's, like almost all my family members and friends, then been in these dreams, and it's just been crazy. Um, like I have a history of having, a dream every night, but I've never had that many dreams. And I'm probably going on day about 16 or 17 where I'm having 3 or 4 dreams every night. It's like every time I wake up, I'm waking up from a dream. And unfortunately, with the fibroids, I have to use the bathroom a lot more often. So when I used to could sleep all night, I'm probably waking up 1 or 2 times a night to use the bathroom. So those were my 3 symptoms. They hadn't been bad at all. But like I said, I'm kind of really paying attention to my body, so that I can be informative to other people of what you may endure. Like I said, it's not an all be all thing. I'm not gonna have all the symptoms. The next person might not have all the symptoms because our body reacts differently. But it's what I'm going through right now. My surgery is set to be in less than a month. Um, I'm going to have a preoperative UFE, uterine artery embolization, or uterine fibroid embolization. I was really freaking out at first when my doctor suggested it. I agreed to it because I trust my surgeon, but I just, sometimes you just have a feeling like, okay, I feel like this guy or woman has my best interest at heart, understands what I want, and if that's what you suggest, then I'm gonna go with it. So sometimes you have that instance, but sometimes, in your mind, you agree with it, but you're not fully understanding why. And, there's some people like me who kind of like do that, they look things up and they want to understand, they want things to align correctly. So I actually finally did a simple search because I was looking up UFE, you know, and they was all saying the same thing. It's a standalone treatment for fibroids. I have never heard of anybody having a UFE at the same time and they had a myomectomy. They might have a UFE 1 year, and then the next year or two they might have a myomectomy. So I couldn't understand why my doctor was recommending both of them. But I went back to the when I had the appointment with him, and he phrased it as a preoperative UFE. So then I googled it. I googled exactly preoperative uterine fibroid embolization, and what came up gave me a peace of mind. It gave me exactly what I was looking for, and it made so much more sense. So I'm totally happy with my plan of care and what my doctor has suggested. So if you have any questions, if you go to your doctor's appointment and this is your doctor suggests this, just because you leave and that was the plan doesn't mean you have to do it. Because I was planning on canceling it, even though in my mind I'm like I trust this doctor, But on my other side, it's like, okay, I don't think I'm gonna do this. I don't know if I'm gonna do this, you know. But I did my research. Sometimes all it takes is do 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 do, plugging it in and searching it on Google. And sometimes good stuff is not on there and false stuff. You might find some false stuff, but these was like legit articles that discuss why um it was suggested to have a preoperative UFE, and it actually said to preserve fertility and to decrease blood loss in preparation for the myomectomy, which is exactly what my doctor said. And so then I'm having the UFE at o'clock that morning, and then later on that day I'm having a abdominal myomectomy with a vertical incision. A lot of people don't have the vertical incision, but my fibroids are quite larger and they're sitting up a lot higher, pushing my uterus up to my rib cage. So my doctor suggested that I have a vertical incision. So make sure you subscribe. I'm gonna come back and update y'all if I have any other things related to the Lupron, and then I'm gonna come back and talk about getting ready for the surgery, the pre-op care, post-op, and recovery. Also, my next video, I'm gonna talk about anemia. So a lot of people with fibroids suffer from anemia. So I'm gonna tell you about the treatments I did, how I've changed my diet, and just different things to help you. All right, talk to y'all later. Bye.